Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody who is joining me, and welcome to the first Own Your Story. I decided that I really love helping people be creative. That's one of my passions. So it's hard in a live video to help you sing because I can't hear you. However, I can help you write if that's what you want to do. I've taught lots of people how to start writing, and they have gone on to write stories, and a couple of people have even started shopping around their books, which is fabulous. So I want to get started with helping you, if you're there, get to writing. Let's see, how's the best way to put this? The first thing I want to do is figure out whether or not you all are feeling creative. And if you're not, if you're feeling, oh, I worked all day, I'm tired, and I get it, how do we access that sizzle? How do we access that creative spark? So the thing for me to do, the way I do it, is I get up in the morning and first thing, I write. I don't give myself time to think. I make it immediate and I just go, okay, that's it. I have to do 500 words and there's no negotiation. That doesn't work for everybody. It happens to work for me. But the idea of making it something immediate, making it something so that you have no time to plan it, really strikes a chord with me. Some of you may have followed my, back in 2010, my goodness, it was a long time ago, I did a daily story that I wrote in just 1 minute. Every day for a year, I wrote a micro story, and I did it so that I could really improve my writing, and it revolutionized my writing. And so one of the ways I start every writing workshop I teach or every writing class I teach is through those micro stories. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out a way to get you writing and get you thinking about how to form the beginning of a story. That's the big thing that I want to talk about today. If this is successful, if people are into it, I would love to do this every once in a while and see how far we get. See whether or not people get going with their stories and start writing, and you might even get a book out of it. Who knows? A lot of us want to be writers, and a lot of us think that we can't be for some reason. And so in my mind, I think we all can be. We all have that need for self-expression, and we all have the talent for it in one way or another. So I'm going to ask you to follow me along. So I hope you have pencil and paper or pen and paper or laptop, whatever it is you want to do this on. And I want you to do this for me. I want you to not think. So don't think, just write it down. Whatever we start with, just write down what you feel like you want to say. Okay. Believe it or not, I actually have a PowerPoint that's here for me. But if you all want it, I'm happy to post it up afterwards so that you get an idea of what it is I was talking about. So I want to talk about immediate gratification. One of the things that happens is we start, but sometimes we don't start at the beginning, and that's okay. In fact, one of the best ways to begin a story is start in the middle of the action, start in the middle of something happening. But the question is, how do we do it? For me, it means not thinking too much about what you say at the beginning. If nothing comes, you just need to sort of say to yourself, if I were a person who knew what I wanted to say right now, what would it be? Ask yourself that question and then start something, because something will come. Even if it's, I can't believe I'm doing this, freaking blah, 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 blah. That's okay, because at least it gets words on paper, and before you know it, some kind of sentence will happen. But definitely you want to start the beginning of any story when something is already going on, when something's happening. I'm going to give you a word prompt because anybody who's ever studied with me knows how much I love these. And I'm going to show you all these little cards that I have made. You can do location, see? Or you can do profession. It's kind of like the game Clue, right? Or you can do object. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to work on objects. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to write something for a short time based on the prompt word that I choose out of these, I think it's 17 different objects. what I want you to do is use the prompt word somehow in your first sentence, but make sure that the prompt word is part of some sort of an action. So if the prompt word is river, you can say the river was rushing. You can say the small sailboat careened along the river. I don't care what you start with, but I want you to think about being in the middle of something happening rather than, philosophical statements like, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It's already been done. It's already been taken, so we can't really use it. And you want to avoid starting with a phone call or someone getting out of bed. The beginning of a book or a story is not well served with the beginning of an action. So you don't want to be walking into the house as the very, very first line, or, yawning because you've just woken up, or the phone rings at 3 o'clock in the morning. Those things have been done a lot, and so try not to do them. What I'm going to ask you to do is think about having whatever prompt word I give you be in the middle of the action. Use it in your first sentence somehow so that it gets in your mind what you're writing about. And if possible, have someone doing or saying something as part of your sentence, as part of your first sentence. And then after that, you'll notice that something else sort of slips in right behind it, and you will be able to go ahead and start doing something with it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to shuffle these puppies. They're not that hard to shuffle. They're just cards. And I'm going to choose one at random out of these possible objects. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to write for 2 minutes, and I'm going to time you. And so you're going to sit there. For those of you who are just watching, you're going to watch me sit for 2 minutes. Actually, I think I might try and write something too. And what I want you to remember about this object is, once you know what it is I want you to think very quickly before we start writing, what is it? Who might want it? Who wants this object? And what are they willing to do to get it? Those are the 3 things to sort of think about. Think about the object for a minute, get its description in your mind. If it's a guitar, for example, I don't know if you all can see the guitar, it's right here. If it's a guitar, you might want to envision what kind of guitar it is. If it's a car, you might want to think about what kind of car it is. Is it a fast-moving Ferrari? Is it an older model Chevy? Is it a Dodge Charger? They all connote some kind of person who might be driving them, for example. So think about all of that. I know I'm giving you 42 things to think about, but think about it. Think about what that object might be. Picture it in your mind if you can, and then think about who wants it. Who might want this object? For example, a Dodge Charger. Who might want a muscle car? Might it be someone who has always dreamed of restoring one? Might it be a 17-year-old who's just gotten his license? We don't know what the possibilities are, but it's all for you to imagine before you start writing. And then think about what that person or those people are willing to do to get this object. So I'm going to actually have a little timer. Hang on a second. Let me turn this on. Okay. I'm going to have a little timer for you all. I'm going to time you for 2 minutes. I'm going to choose the object. I'm going to give you a few seconds to think about the what is it, the who wants it, and what they're willing to do to get it. And then we're going to go ahead and start writing. And remember, first thing, what is the object? Who wants it? What are they willing to do to get it? And then in your first sentence, use the object word and have someone doing or saying something as part of writing about the object. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to choose this one. Okay, interesting choice. The word is bird. Okay, bird like Big Bird from Sesame Street, or like a bird of paradise. No, that's a plant. Or a peacock or a pigeon. You can even say pigeon or peacock. Doesn't matter to me. But the word is bird. You can use the word bird, or you can use a type of bird. Doesn't matter. So give yourself some thought. Who might be doing or saying something about it or with it? Or maybe it's the bird who's talking. We don't know. Who might want it? Is it a very rare bird that someone wants to take a picture of? Think about who might want something having to do with this bird. Is it a golden bird? Is it a bird that, you know, the goose that lays the golden egg? But also it might be a statue made out of all gold like the Maltese falcon. I mean, heck, look at all the stuff that went on about that bird. And then what are those people, what are those characters willing to do to get it? So here we go. I'm going to give you a start, and on your mark, get set, pencils to paper, and go. Ten seconds, everybody, if you're doing something. And there's the alarm. All right. So how did that go for you all? Let's see if it'll stop. There we go. How did that go? Did it feel too long, too short? Most of my writing students go, ah, you only gave us 2 minutes. Sometimes not even that long, I'll be honest. So it can be something that is the beginning, you know, something that you are starting to think about. It can be something that is done now. It can be that microfiction, flash fiction kind of story. As long as you are happy with it, that's great. Let me tell you what I wrote. And frankly, I was a little bit nervous because I'm like, too many things, but here it is. The Maltese Falcon is a stupid movie, Jonah grumbled. Who would do all that over a stupid bird anyway? It could be worse. Maria collapsed onto the couch and propped her feet on the table. They could be making us watch The Big Sleep again. She handed him the popcorn. At least we get popcorn, he sighed. Period. That's what I've got so far in this little story. This tells us something about Jonah and Maria's parents, I think. Okay, so hopefully that was fun for you all. Here's what I would like to do. What I would love to do, if you're into it, is to invite you to see about what you wrote, see about what you want to write with it. And if you wrote something, and I'm actually hoping that there are some of you participating because this is fun. If you wrote something and you want to send it to me, I will give you notes. It'll probably be an MP3 of me recording something and saying, this is what you want to think about. I'm more of a talker than a note giver in writing. But yeah, I think if you want to send me what you wrote, I would be happy to take a look at it. So I'm going to try one more, and we're going to do the exact same thing, only this time we're going to choose a different object, and we're going to choose a location. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about, with the object and the location, where are your characters? Based on the location, envision it in your mind when you hear it. What could it be? Where could they be? See if you can smell the smells and see the sights, as it were. What are your characters doing if you have any characters? What do they want? Do they want the object? Is the object only part of the story, not the whole point of the story? What's happening as part of it? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to synthesize different ideas and bring them into one whole. That seems to be really important as far as developing the creative writing spark. That idea of hitting upon an idea and seeing where it goes, and then picking things up along the way that inform the juice of the story, if you will. So I'm calling this whole mini workshop thing Own Your Story, because it is all about us. We are the ultimate creators of the universes we create when we write. So as long as we don't contradict our universe, we're good to go, right? So it's your universe. It's your, wherever it is you want to put this, what object and what location we choose. You might put this on Pluto. We don't know. You might put it in another dimension. It doesn't matter. What matters is for you to think it through enough so that you get that sense of tying things in and tying things together so that you can start seeing the narrative, start seeing where this story might go. So again, where are your characters? What are they doing? What do they want? And how does the object relate to the location? Again, we're going to write for 2 minutes, and do not edit. Don't edit a thing. You'll be tempted to go, and I don't know if you did it in the first story, you'll be tempted to go, oh wait, I need to restate. Don't edit. Just write. 2 different parts of the brain are involved in creating, in writing, and editing. And as soon as the editor starts going dip, 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 you start getting this stopping of the creative flow. It kind of goes meow, because now you're refining. You don't want to refine right now. You can refine later. What you want to do is let it well up and get onto the page. Whether or not you're on the computer or with a piece of paper and a pencil, doesn't matter. I'm going to choose the object, I'm going to choose the location, and we're going to start the same thing, 2 minutes. So we're going to start with an object. I have a kind of hope it won't be the bird again. And the object is a curtain. And the location, let's see now. Now, while I'm doing this, while I'm choosing the location, what I want you to start doing is thinking about curtains. Is it the curtain on the windowsill or on a window? Or is it the curtain of the mind? Is it like the Iron Curtain or the Alfred Hitchcock movie Torn Curtain, if you remember that? That was part of the Iron Curtain. Where is that curtain? What is it made out of? Start thinking about it. Think about colors, anything like that. All right, here we go. I'm choosing a location, and the location is... it's a little pedantic. I almost want to choose another one. Let's see, is there another one better? Okay, well, I'm going to give you one of 2 locations, I guess. You can either have a curtain and a store. There we go. Or a curtain in a theater. So whichever one you want to use, go ahead and use it. Remember, where are your characters? Are they in a theater or in a store? Doesn't matter. What are they doing? Are they taking their bows after a curtain call? Are they the ones responsible for pressing the curtains after somebody had messed them up in a theater? Are they laying out new fabric for curtains in the fabric store? What are they doing with the curtains in either the store or in the theater? Remember, do not edit. And I'm going to see if I can start writing something. And here we go. 2 minute mark and go. 4 seconds. 2, 1, and time. All right. So finish your sentence. I'm going to finish mine. I'm not going to finish it. You'll just be watching me write. So hopefully that went great for you. It might be frustrating at first, but I want to encourage you to try a couple of more times. You can even use the same words if you want. So here we go. Let's see, what else do I want to say right now? Oh yeah, if you, again, if you get me what you wrote and you want notes on it, I'm happy to send them to you. I will record a little MP3 and give it to you so that you can use it and maybe do other things with your writing. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do this more because it's fun for me. Hopefully you all had a great time. Drop me a line if you will. Give me a comment and let me know if you liked it. Because I think that in some ways it's my life's goal to help everybody else, or at least as many people as I can, spark their creative fires. So hopefully this did a little something for you, and hopefully it was fun for you. How do you feel? Let me know that too. I'd love to hear from you. Just sort of, did you enjoy it? Was it fun? Would you want to do more? I'll probably put this up on YouTube at some point and maybe even create a course out of it. I don't know, because this is so much fun. And it's an easy way to start slipping into the writing life and, as I said, and owning our stories. So have a great night. I hope you had a great time and enjoy your weekend, and sending you all my love. Bye.